Have you ever thought that maybe, just maybe, the reason you feel tired all day or forget small things more often isn't because you're getting older? What if your body's been whispering the answer all along and you've been missing it? Every night around 8 or 8:30, you feel it, that wave of sleepiness, but you push through. There's a show to watch, emails to check, or maybe it's just habit. But here's the truth, that early tiredness isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's your body saying, I'm ready, let me rest. And when we ignore it night after night, we do more than lose sleep. We miss the single most powerful chance to heal. Because after age 70, your body's internal clock shifts. Melatonin rises earlier, deep sleep gets harder to reach, and yet, most people keep going to bed at 11, like they always have. Today, that changes. In this video, I'll share the one simple shift that's transformed the lives of hundreds of older adults. Going to bed at the right time. Not a supplement, not a gadget, just honoring the time your body truly needs to rest. We'll explore what the research says straight from Harvard, Mayo Clinic, and Johns Hopkins. We'll meet people in their 70s and 80s who made this shift and got their energy, clarity, and peace back. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll learn how one small change tonight could bring you the most refreshing sleep you've felt in years. Ready? Let's begin. Have you noticed that sleep just doesn't feel the same anymore? Maybe you still get your 7 or 8 hours, but when morning comes, you wake up feeling like you barely slept. Your thoughts feel heavy. Your body feels slower. And you wonder, is this just part of getting older? We want to tell you something important. It's not your fault. And no, you're not doing anything wrong. What you're experiencing is something many of us go through after 70. Our sleep isn't broken, it's just changing. You see, deep inside the brain, something quiet but powerful starts to shift. We begin to lose a special kind of sleep called deep sleep. That's the stage of sleep that heals the body, clears the mind, and gives us back our energy. By the time we reach our 70s, we may get up to 40% less deep sleep than we did just 20 years ago. That's not a small change. That's the reason why, even after a full night in bed, we still feel drained. It's why mornings feel harder, and why the fog doesn't lift until much later in the day, if at all. But there's more. As we age, the hormones that help us sleep begin shifting too. Melatonin, the hormone that makes you feel sleepy, starts rising earlier in the evening. For many of us, it peaks around 8 or 8:30 p.m. Your body is actually asking for rest earlier than it used to. That wave of sleepiness you feel around that time, it's not just habit, it's not boredom, it's your body saying, now's the time. But most of us, we push through. We wait for our old bedtime. We tell ourselves it's too early, so we stay up. And without realizing it, we miss the perfect window for rest. And that's when the trouble starts. We lie in bed, wide awake. We wake up in the middle of the night, unable to fall back asleep. And in the morning, we wonder, why am I still so tired? Here's the truth. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're simply living by a rhythm that doesn't match your body anymore. But once we start listening, once you allow your body to lead instead of habit, everything begins to change. And in the next few minutes, we'll show you how something as simple as going to bed at a different time can help you feel more rested, clear, and alive than you have in years. Let's talk about what we call the golden hour of sleep, the time between 9 and 10 p.m., and why it matters more than ever after age 70. You might think sleep is all about how long you rest, but here's what the science shows. When you go to bed may be just as important. In a recent Mayo Clinic study, older adults who consistently went to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. showed a 45% improvement in sleep quality. They fell asleep faster, stayed asleep longer, and they woke up feeling more refreshed without needing medication, fancy gadgets, or complicated routines. Why does this happen? Because your internal body clock, your circadian rhythm, changes with age. In our 40s and 50s, we might feel tired around 10:30 or 11. But by the time we're in our 70s, our body starts nudging us toward rest much earlier, often around 8:30 p.m. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. It's your biology saying it's time. And when we ignore that signal, staying up late out of habit, we miss the wave. We end up tossing, turning, and waking up tired, even after what should have been a full night's rest. let us tell you about someone we'll never forget. Mrs. Williams was 76 when she came to see us. She had battled insomnia for decades, tried everything: teas, supplements, even medication. Nothing worked. And then she said something we hear often: "I've gone to bed at midnight since I was a teenager. I don't think I know how to sleep earlier." We asked her to try one thing: go to bed by 9:30 p.m. every night for 3 weeks. No late night screens, no emails, just let her body guide her. And she did. 3 weeks later, she walked back into our clinic with tears in her eyes and a smile we hadn't seen before. "I finally sleep," she said. Her mood shifted. Her energy came back. Her memory, once foggy, started to clear. Not because she changed everything, but because she changed one thing: when she allowed herself to rest. And that's what we want to offer you today. Not a big fix, just a gentle shift. Back to what your body's been asking for all along. Let us introduce you to someone we think you'll relate to. His name is Mr. Johnson. He's 70 years old, a retired high school history teacher with a sharp mind and a gentle way of speaking. He came to see us one cool fall afternoon, looking tired, but more than that, he looked frustrated. He sat down and said, "I go to bed the same time I always have, around 11, but I lie there for hours, and when I finally do sleep, I wake up more exhausted than before. What's wrong with me?" And we told him the same thing we're telling you now. There was nothing wrong with him. He just hadn't realized that his internal clock had changed. His body was producing melatonin earlier in the evening, around 8 or 8:30 p.m., but his old habits were keeping him up long past that natural window. He was missing the wave, and it was costing him his energy, his clarity, and his peace of mind. So we asked him to try something simple. Just for 3 weeks. Go to bed at 9:30 p.m. No late night TV, no checking the news or emails. Just allow your body to rest when it first asks. He chuckled. "That early?" We smiled. "Just try." 3 weeks later, he walked back into our office, and we knew something had changed before he even spoke. He looked taller, lighter, brighter. And then he said something we'll never forget. "It's like someone turned the light back on in my brain." He was sleeping through the night naturally. He was waking up with energy, and best of all, he'd started walking again in the mornings, something he hadn't felt up to in months. That's what happens when we stop fighting our biology and start working with it. Mr. Johnson's story isn't rare. It's not even unusual. In fact, it's the story of millions of older adults across the country. People who are still living by the same bedtime they had 30 years ago, while their body has quietly been asking for something different. And once they make that shift, just like Mr. Johnson did, things start to change. Not overnight, but slowly, gently, profoundly. And if you've been struggling too, we want you to know you're not alone, and it's never too late to feel better again. Now let's talk about something that affects every part of your day: your heart. It's the engine that keeps everything moving. And after 70, it works harder than most people realize. But here's the beautiful part. When you give your heart the right timing to rest, it responds with strength. We've tracked sleep patterns and heart health in our clinic for years, and what we've seen is nothing short of astonishing. Older adults who consistently went to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. not only slept better, they saw real, measurable changes in their cardiovascular health. We're talking about stabilized blood pressure, fewer irregular heartbeats, and in many cases, reduced need for heart medications, with full support and guidance from their doctors. In fact, the numbers are powerful. That same Mayo Clinic study we mentioned earlier, it found that people over 70 who followed this earlier bedtime routine had a 45% reduction in heart-related issues. 45%. That's not a small bump. That's a life-changing difference. One patient told us, "I didn't realize how tired my heart was until it started beating easy again." And we see this over and over. Not from high-tech treatments, not from radical diets, but from something as simple and as gentle as honoring your body's natural need for rest. You see, your heart doesn't just need time off. It needs the right time off. Late nights, even if they seem harmless, can keep your stress hormones high. They keep your nervous system on edge, and your heart never quite gets to settle. But when you allow yourself to wind down early, when you go to bed, while your body is still riding that wave of melatonin, your heart gets to enter its own kind of rest. And it thanks you for it. Not just the next day, but day after day, quietly, powerfully, restoring itself. So if you felt that pressure in your chest, or if your doctor has mentioned your blood pressure lately, maybe it's time to ask not just what to take, but when you rest. Because sometimes healing starts not with more effort, but with less resistance. And your heart, it's listening. Let's shift to something a little more personal, your memory. That quiet, precious part of you that holds your stories, your routines, the names of your grandchildren, the reason you walked into the kitchen in the first place. And if lately you felt like some of that is slipping, we want you to know something. You're not alone. And it's not just senior moments. Sleep, especially sleep at the right time, is deeply connected to memory. You see, during the early hours of the night, your brain enters a powerful phase of rest. It's a time when it clears away toxins, repairs connections, and strengthens what you've learned and experienced during the day. But here's the key. That deep brain cleaning doesn't happen the same way at midnight or 1 a.m. It happens strongest when we sleep earlier, in alignment with our body's natural rhythm. Let us tell you about a couple we worked with, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. They were both in their mid-70s, sharp, thoughtful, full of life, but they'd begun to worry. They were missing appointments, forgetting simple things, asking each other the same questions, and they were scared because they thought they were losing their minds. We invited them to try something small, nothing extreme. Just go to bed by 9:30 p.m. every night for 3 months. Same time, same rhythm, no screens, no chaos. And they did. 3 months later, they returned smiling. Mrs. Thompson said, "I haven't forgotten my medication once this month." Mr. Thompson pulled out a crossword puzzle he'd finished that morning. He said, "I feel like the lights are back on upstairs." We ran simple cognitive tests before and after. The result? A 32% improvement in memory function. Not from pills, not from brain games. Just consistent, early sleep. Science now confirms what we saw, that the brain needs this quiet time. It uses those early hours to sweep away harmful proteins, the kind that build up in people with memory loss or even Alzheimer's. So if your mind has felt a little foggy, if names slip or tasks get lost before you panic, ask yourself, am I giving my brain the rest it needs at the time it needs it most? Because the memories we hold on to, they deserve to be kept. And often, all it takes is sleep that arrives on time. And here's something we remind every person we work with. It's not about how many hours you sleep. It's about when you sleep and whether your body feels safe enough to truly rest. If your body tells you it's ready at 8:30, listen. Don't push past it for one more episode, one more chore, one more scroll. Let go of the pressure to sleep 8 hours. Instead, focus on the right hours. Sometimes 6 hours of deep early sleep can restore more than 8 hours of scattered rest. So tonight, sleep when you feel sleepy. Be gentle with yourself. Let your body lead the way. Because when we stop forcing and start listening, real rest begins. Let's talk about something we all feel, even if we don't always say it out loud. Worry, restlessness. That quiet heaviness that sometimes settles in the chest or behind the eyes, the kind that sneaks in before bed and lingers through the morning. If you felt more anxious lately, if your mood feels flat or your days blur together, sleep might have more to do with it than you think. You see, the brain doesn't just rest at night. It cleans. It clears out the emotional clutter, the stress, the sadness, the fear, especially during those early evening hours of deep, uninterrupted sleep. But when we stay up late, when we fight that natural wave of tiredness and push past it, we miss the brain's best opportunity to restore emotional balance. That's why so many people wake up feeling edgy, overwhelmed, or down, even if nothing bad has happened. Let us tell you what we've seen. In our clinic's latest review, seniors who shifted their sleep to the 9 to 10 p.m. window showed a 58% reduction in anxiety and depressive symptoms, not after months of therapy, not after new prescriptions, just by allowing the brain to rest when it was ready. One woman, 73, told us, "For the first time in years, I woke up and didn't feel that heavy sadness. I just felt calm." It wasn't magic, it was biology. Her brain had finally gotten what it needed: early, deep, healing sleep. So if your emotions have been harder to manage lately, if you feel like you're carrying more than you used to, maybe it's not just life weighing on you. Maybe it's your brain quietly asking for care. And care at this stage of life doesn't mean doing more. It often means doing less. Less pushing, less fixing, more listening. So we say this gently: sleep when your body wants to sleep. Let go of the clock. You don't have to wait until 11 p.m. just because you always have. If you feel drowsy at 8:30, that's not weakness. That's your body saying it's time to rest. And when we honor that, not only do we wake up clearer, we wake up lighter, more ourselves. Because peace of mind isn't found in more effort. It's found in the quiet moments we allow ourselves to feel safe, still, and deeply rested. By now, we've talked a lot about when to sleep. But maybe you're wondering, what else can I do to make falling asleep easier? The good news is, you don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need expensive supplements or complicated gadgets. Most of the time, small changes done consistently are the most powerful. So here are 5 simple habits we've shared with hundreds of older adults, many of whom now sleep deeper and wake up brighter than they have in years. Number 1, sleep during the golden hour. That means heading to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. We've said it before, but it's worth repeating. Your body now follows a different rhythm. Catching that natural wave of tiredness around 8:30 p.m. allows you to ride into deep, uninterrupted rest. Number 2, avoid caffeine and heavy meals in the evening. Did you know caffeine can stay in your system for 6 hours or longer? That 3 p.m. coffee could still be keeping you awake at 9. Even a piece of chocolate or a cup of green tea can interfere with your sleep. Same goes for rich, heavy dinners. Try finishing your last full meal at least 3 hours before bed. And if you're a little hungry later on, a banana, a few almonds, or a warm non-caffeinated tea can be the perfect choice. Number 3, dim the lights. Bright lights, especially blue light from TVs, phones, or tablets, confuse your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Instead, around 7:30 or 8 p.m., switch to soft amber lighting. You'll be surprised how naturally your eyelids begin to feel heavier. Number 4, create a calming wind-down routine. Think about how we soothe children before bed: a warm bath, a quiet story, soft music. Why don't we offer ourselves the same care? Take 20 to 30 minutes before sleep to step away from stress. Read a few pages of a book, stretch gently, sit in silence. Avoid heavy conversations, the evening news, or to-do lists. This is your time to exhale. And number 5, step away from screens. We know it's hard, but putting down your phone, your tablet, or your TV remote at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed can make all the difference. Screens suppress melatonin, that precious sleep hormone. Even light scrolling can leave your mind overstimulated. So tonight, choose stillness instead. Let your thoughts settle like dust in a quiet room, because sleep isn't something we force, it's something we invite. And when your body feels safe, quiet, and honored, that's when real rest begins. Let's take a moment to talk about something deeper, because this isn't just about sleep, it's about how we treat ourselves, especially as we grow older. For so many years, we've been taught to push through, stay busy, stay up late, get things done. Rest was something we earned after everything else. But after 70, things shift. Your body is wiser now. It doesn't need more hustle. It needs more honor. And choosing to sleep earlier, that's not giving in. It's not weakness. It's not a sign that you're slowing down. It's self-respect. It's listening. It's saying to your body, I hear you. I care for you. Let's rest. We've seen it over and over again. Older adults who used to feel ashamed of going to bed at 9 p.m., calling themselves boring or getting old, until they realized that very choice was a form of strength. Because the truth is, it takes courage to live in rhythm with yourself, to stop comparing, to stop following an old schedule that no longer fits. And here's what happens when you do. You wake up feeling clearer. You move through the day with steadier energy. You smile more, worry less. Not because everything's perfect, but because you are aligned with what your body truly needs. One man told us, I spent years trying to keep up. Now, for the first time, I feel like I've caught up with myself. So tonight, if that wave of sleepiness comes early, don't fight it, don't judge it, welcome it. Let it be a quiet reminder that your body is not behind, it's right on time. And in this chapter of life, where wisdom outweighs speed and peace matters more than productivity, resting early is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself. Because deep down, this isn't about sleep at all. It's about finally coming home to your rhythms, to your peace, to you. So now you know. This whole time, it might not have been your age, or your health, or your memory. It might have just been the timing. And the beautiful truth is, you don't need to change everything. You just need to change one thing. Because when you sleep in rhythm with your body, everything else begins to shift. Your energy, your focus, your heart, your peace. You wake up feeling rested, not because you slept more, but because you slept when your body was truly ready. So tonight, if that gentle wave of tiredness comes at 8:30, don't fight it. Don't push it away. Let it in. Let it be a soft whisper from within, saying, "You've done enough. It's time to rest." And if this message spoke to you, if something inside you said, "Yes, that's me," we'd love for you to type just one word in the comments: hope. Not just for yourself, but for someone you love. Someone who might need this gentle reminder that it's never too late to feel better, never too late to heal, never too late to rest. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss new tips on senior health, sleep, and peace of mind. Lastly, we invite you to share this video with someone who might need it today. A friend, a parent, a neighbor. Because sometimes one quiet message delivered at just the right time can change everything. Tonight, may your rest be deep, your heart be calm, and your morning clear and full of life. Until next time, sleep well.